Victoria Jackson, the comedic force who brought laughter to millions on Saturday Night Live, is now facing an unimaginable heartbreak. This shocking news has left fans reeling as the once vibrant and joyful star confronts a personal tragedy that has shaken her world. Discover the heartbreaking reality behind the smile that lit up our screens, childhood and upbringing. Victoria Jackson was born in Miami, Florida on August 2, 1959. She was raised under a strict Christian family and was raised under very strict Christianity standards in her private and working life. Her father, who was a gymnastics coach, played a very big role in her early training as he put her through gymnastics at a tender age. This would later on become one of the hallmarks of her career in the entertainment industry, making her unique from the rest. Victoria was a performer right from her childhood. She was a jovial lady and she enjoyed making jokes. Most of the time she would entertain her family and friends by doing comedy. Victoria, even though she was brought up in a religious family where she was not allowed to be very active, was a very active lady with a good sense of humor. Her passion for performance began in high school, where she participated in cheerleading and drama club, where she could show off her tumbling and funny bone. Victoria did not directly enter comedy. She struggled with the conflict between her passion and her religious and conservative upbringing. She later enrolled at Florida Bible College to enhance her studies, and at the same time, she discovered her talent in performing arts. But it was also clear that she had a passion that wanted her to venture out of the religious context that was a part of her life. Victoria's big break came when she felt she had to move to Los Angeles to be a comedian. This was quite a daring decision for her to make, since she had to leave the familiar Miami, her culturally grounded family, and follow her passion in the unforgiving entertainment industry. In Los Angeles, she started attending acting classes and performing stand-up comedy at comedy clubs, and gradually began to get some visibility in the comedy niche. Her big break came in the early 1980s when she was discovered by Johnny Carson, the host of The Tonight Show. The act she performed on the show, in which she did a handstand and recited poetry, was a perfect example of slapstick comedy and eccentricity. This performance opened her doors in Hollywood, and she was able to appear in various television shows and movies as a guest and in minor roles. Victoria's perseverance and distinctive comedic style eventually led her to the opportunity that would define her career, the show commonly referred to as SNL or Saturday Night Live. In 1986, she was promoted to be a featured player on the show, along with other great comedians such as Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, and Jan Hooks. She was also able to portray kooky personalities, and her comedic use of the body was also quite entertaining, making her a crowd's delight on the show. The first characters that Victoria played in SNL were based on the fact that she was unique. She was well known for her sexy voice, cute behavior, and ability to perform a handstand during the show. The viewers appreciated her performances, and so she was a favorite actress during her tenure of 6 seasons in the show. But nonetheless, Victoria Jackson's journey to stardom was not without some glitches, even if she was a star at SNL. She failed to conform to the other senior and demanding co-actors and actresses, and her religious beliefs were quite different from the rest of the cast because of the liberal setting of the show. However, she did not live long enough to proceed with her comedy shows, but she was a strong-willed lady with an exceptional style of comedy. Analyzing the information regarding Victoria Jackson's early life and her career beginning, it is possible to conclude that the woman was rather persistent, gifted, and willing to challenge herself. The story of this Miami-born woman is very inspiring, and it proves that no matter how hard things get, one should always stay true to oneself. Rise to fame on Saturday Night Live. This paper will also demonstrate how Victoria Jackson joined SNL through perseverance, talent, and chance. By the mid-1980s, she was already making her mark in the comedy niche because of her weird behavior on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Her physical comedy, such as her handstands and her high-pitched voice that resembled that of a child, was enough to catch the eye of Lorne Michaels, the creator and producer of SNL. In 1986, Lorne Michaels was attempting to revive SNL because the show had been fluctuating between levels of success since it was first created in 1975. He was on the lookout for new talent for the show that would assist in altering the look of the show. Victoria Jackson was a good choice because she had offbeat humor and was good at physical comedy. Michaels then suggested that he wanted to give her a chance as a featured player, and Jackson did not think twice to accept that role because this was what she wanted. Victoria was different, and that was her asset when she was with SNL. While most of the female comedians employed sarcasm and over-the-top humor, Jackson's humor was more physical and innocent, which was quite rare to see in late-night sketch comedy shows. The following are some of the things she did that I found impressive: doing handstands in the middle of a sketch. Her voice was soft and airy, and she had an innocent look on her face which made her suitable for playing childish and eccentric characters, and this became her niche in the show. One of the most memorable sketches she did was Toonces the Driving Cat, where she portrayed the wife of a man who has a cat that drives a car. The fact that the premise of the sketch is so preposterous, and Jackson's talent to read the most banal of the lines with complete seriousness, made the sketch a classic. The other character that she depicted was a stupid bimbo in the Weekend Update sketches, where she would read poetry or make ridiculous statements in that sexy voice. She played a stupid and dumb Jan Brady from the Brady Bunch, one of her best roles. It parodied and homaged Jackson while retaining his mannerisms. She was beloved by SNL fans because she could play adorable and goofy characters. Victoria Jackson's late 1980s and early 1990s SNL and comedy roles were substantial but unknown. Jackson behaved differently before the show was full of snarky humor and stinging irony. Her performances showed that comedy can be simple and powerful. Jackson was at SNL when Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, and Jan Hooks were among its outstanding group. Because she had her own comedy, she was able to establish herself apart from the competition. She didn't push her comedy and wasn't the show's lead, but she contributed to SNL's variety of content. Her contributions went beyond characters and sketches. Jackson's participation on SNL inspired other women comedians without satirical intelligence. She proved that physical comedy and character development can be as funny as satire in the play. With her triumph on SNL, she showed that being yourself pays off. Other cast members have also been quoted to have said that Jackson had a positive experience while on the show. Dana Carvey, who was famous for impressions and characters, once stated that Jackson was the most committed to her characters. Victoria had this incredible ability to fully inhabit her characters, Carvey said. She could make the impossible possible, and that was why she was special. Not even the critics left out commenting on Jackson's efforts on the show. Although she was always surrounded by smarter people, her work was loved for its creativity and cuteness. A critic in a review from the late 1980s also pointed out that Victoria Jackson is the new fresh face on SNL, and she has a flair for innocence and the ridiculousness of it all. She is not just portraying characters, but worlds. Although Victoria Jackson left SNL in 1992, she is still an SNL alumni who contributed to the show. She is still loved by fans of the time, and people still remember her voice and the characters she used to portray. SNL benefited from her work as she was able to take the limitations of what was possible in sketch comedy and prove that there was a place for all types of humor on stage. After her time at SNL, Jackson has remained in entertainment, but SNL was the highlight of her career. To most, she will always remain the comedian who did backflips on stage and cracked jokes during the late-night shows. She is living proof of the fact that the world is transformed by people who are ready to be different. Life after Saturday Night Live. When Victoria Jackson left SNL in 1992, she faced the problem of where to fit in the show business after having been associated with it for 6 years. It can therefore be said that her departure from SNL marked the closing of one chapter in her career, but the opening of another chapter in television, film, and other related fields. After SNL, Victoria continued to act in television and movies. She also appeared in several TV shows as a guest star, including The Drew Carey Show and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She was a great guest star because of her talent for portraying eccentric and peculiar characters, and she continued using this comedic approach in these parts. Besides television, Victoria also ventured into the big screen. Some of the movies that she starred in include UHF, 1989, where she played the female lead opposite Weird Al Yankovic, and Baby Boom, 1987, where Diane Keaton appeared. While these parts allowed her to show her funny bone, they were not as successful as her tenure on SNL. This was one of the biggest issues that Victoria had to face after SNL. That is, how to sustain the career. Transitioning from sketch comedy to other related genres was not always an easy thing to do. As we all know, typecasting is a common practice in show business, and Jackson could not escape the image that she built for herself in SNL. Her voice and physical comedy, which were the main strengths for her on show, were not always transferable to other television and film roles. Secondly, the comedy scene was changing in the 1990s, and the new type of comedy was different from the previous one, as it was more shocking and politically incorrect. Over time, the style of the show began to seem out of touch with the new direction that was being taken. This change impacted her in the sense that she could not get the type of roles she desired, which has led to her limited appearances in popular media. However, Victoria did not leave the entertainment business and remained an active member of it. She also did stand-up comedy and ventured into music. In 1999, she released an album titled Use Me, which was comedy songs and covers. It was another way of expressing herself, but the album did not sell well. Victoria's career began to fade in the early 2000s, and she was not popular anymore. She continued working in the entertainment industry, doing other things and occasionally appearing on television, but she was not the glamorous lady she used to be. However, this period can be considered the beginning of a new stage in her life, the stage that would eventually turn her into a different person. Since the mid-2000s, Victoria Jackson has been changing her career path from comedy to politics and activism. She is gradually turning religious in her conservative Christian manner and is concerned with the fate of America. She also started speaking out more and more and did not hesitate to speak out on issues that she deemed important. It was not shocking that Victoria has joined the political commentary space given her past. She was born into a conservative Christian family and had always been religious and political in her outlook. It was, however, during this period that she began to translate these beliefs into activism in the public sphere. She started writing articles and doing interviews for conservative media through which she could freely state her views on different topics such as abortion, same-sex marriage, and what she deemed as the moral degeneration of America. She was very assertive and had no qualms in speaking about issues that most people would consider taboo, and this made her very unpopular within a short time. Some praised her for the courage she had to stand up for what she wanted to achieve, while others criticized her as a radical or as one who had irrelevant ideas. When she transitioned from comedy to political satire, she was applauded and criticized by people in the entertainment industry. In the entertainment world, this change to the political activist made her an unpopular person, and she lost most of her friends and fans. As for the rest, the industry, which in general has liberal views on most of the issues, did not always accept her conservative opinions. Hence, she was shut out of mainstream entertainment even more than before. Some of her co-workers at SNL, as well as other people in the industry, were hesitant to work with her new look, which was a far cry from the bubbly, goofy comedian they were used to. However, Victoria remained undeterred. She embraced the new image of a political analyst and, at one point, competed for a parliamentary seat. The following year, she attempted for the Williamson County Commission in Tennessee, but was defeated. However, she continued to be involved in conservative activism, going to protests, giving interviews to conservative media outlets, and maintaining a blog in which she offered her opinions on current events. However, people's reaction to her political transformation was mixed. When she began engaging with conservatives, she was accepted for her authenticity and for promoting their cause, but this was accompanied by backlash from the other side. She became an object of discussion on social networks, where people who supported her and those who were against her actively discussed the problem in the comments. This was a big transition from the comedian Victoria was before to doing political commentary. It was a change on the personal level as she moved from entertaining people to directing their thinking, or at least their feelings. This new phase of her life, even though it was not so much appreciated by the public, enabled her to remain active in society in a different way than she used to. Personal struggles and challenges. Some of the diseases that have been prevalent in Victoria Jackson's life have impacted her career and lifestyle. Despite the fact that she has always painted herself as a happy and energetic dancer, she has had to face some serious health challenges. Cancer is one of Victoria's biggest prominent health issues. She and her family were devastated when she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. The revelation shocked her fans, especially those who knew her as a funny comic and actress. Victoria and her husband taught the public about her mastectomy, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. She described her worry and uncertainty about the diagnosis and the treatment's physical and mental toll. Cancer treatment and its effects on Victoria's career were difficult. The harsh treatment caused her to cancel most professional obligations. A man with years in the entertainment industry found this hard to accept. She was frustrated and helpless after stopping all her endeavors. Victoria suffers chronic pain and other health conditions besides cancer. She described fibromyalgia, which causes fatigue and agony. Her chronic illnesses have always bothered her and impacted her productivity. Victoria persevered and worked and attended public events as much as she could. Health concerns have also affected her personal life. Physical and emotional stress from cancer and chronic pain have damaged her relationships and self. She has always practiced Christianity, especially when she has experienced obstacles. Some of her health issues have helped her spiritually, and she has always credited faith throughout her hardest periods. Family and personal life. Victoria Jackson's life has not always been a bed of roses, but she has been a wife, a mother, and a personality. She got married to Paul Wessel, a police helicopter pilot, in 1992, after leaving the show of Saturday Night Live. Their marriage has been a rock in her life, especially in her fluctuating career and other challenges that she has faced in her life. Victoria has 2 daughters, Aubrey and Scarlett, and both daughters have been a great source of pride for the couple. She has always been a career woman, but she has always valued her family a lot, and she has time and again emphasized the importance of being a mother and the joy that comes with raising children. She has also posted about her working life and being a mother, and in most of them she has described the struggles of having a family and working in Hollywood. But like in any other family, the Jackson-Wessel family has not been free from challenges either. The stress arising from fame as well as the responsibilities of managing Victoria's health problems have taken a toll on her relationships. She has come out in the past to explain how difficult it is to sustain a healthy marriage and the work that goes into ensuring a family stays together. However, apart from the issues of family, Victoria has had to deal with mental health issues as well. The demands of her job, her illnesses, and the stress that accompanies celebrity life have affected her psychological state. She has openly discussed her struggles with anxiety and depression, especially at some of the most difficult times in her life. One of the ways she has been very instrumental in creating awareness is by coming out to the public to reveal some of the struggles that she has been going through, despite the fact that she is a celebrity and people might think that she is living the best life. Victoria's mental health issues have been worsened by the fact that social media is usually a platform where people are very mean and judgmental. She has been in the limelight for many years, and therefore she has had to endure the bad press, cyberbullying, and the effects of being under close scrutiny. This has sometimes resulted in loneliness and questioning herself, as she has tried to deal with the challenges of fame and still remain genuine. However, Victoria has continued to stand the test of these challenges. It has also been a way for her to find meaning and hope in her life, especially in dealing with her mental health challenges. She has also relied on her family in the process of seeking support from her husband, as well as from her children. Despite all this, Victoria has not stopped giving her side of the story to the public and has used her voice to advocate for mental health and seek help. However, apart from health and personal issues, Victoria Jackson has had to struggle with financial problems in the recent past. A comedian and actress's life is not always financially secure, and Victoria has not been spared from the economic challenges that accompany the entertainment industry. After leaving Saturday Night Live, Victoria's job did not always guarantee her a regular paycheck as she had experienced while working for the show. However, the jobs in television and film were not steady, and the remunerations that came with the jobs were sometimes inadequate to support her lifestyle. Such fluctuations in income created pressures as much as she could not work due to her health complications. Victoria has struggled to manage her finances and healthcare costs. Cancer, chronic pain, and other healthcare costs are expensive. Despite having health insurance, the co-payments have been significant, straining her and her family financially. Her public image expenses include transportation, appearance, and political action content creation, in addition to medical bills. Victoria has struggled with these bills and her inability to rely on her income. However, Victoria has survived financial difficulty for the following reasons. She has kept going by taking smaller acting jobs, speaking, and performing political analysis. She has never let herself be inactive and has stayed active in the public sphere to make some money, even though it may be less than when she was on SNL. Financial issues have also shown that the entertainment sector is tough to sustain. Her experiences show that even celebrities can have financial challenges, especially when dealing with health issues and market uncertainties. Victoria Jackson's journey is both inspiring and heart-wrenching. For more updates and heartfelt stories, click on the video popping up on your screen, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.